Ag Tech Tip. Analyze underground.
And so Juan, here now I'm in the underground program, right? And
Yep.
notice this spreadsheet pretty big, right? That's a lot of information. But
Yep.
if I click on any run of pipe, excuse me, it's going to show me the average depth. It's going to show me the profile, right? And it's going to show me now I've got my depth brackets, right? So depending on, how you want to set those up, those are all fully customizable. I've got my trench volumes, right? So my trench volumes are based upon what was set based upon the default size of the pipe. So let me click on one of these for like the storm, right? And if I click on the trench, so when I type in pipe, we typically will enter it in, according to the diameter. So 15-inch, and then it'll basically use the defaults, typical defaults to fill in all these different line items. Of course, these are fully customizable, right? So we can change those depending on, we need fill to grade, right? Or we're going to be able to use the existing material on site. We can do custom trenches, and we can get really complicated with it, or we can keep it simple, right? But I think really the underground program has changed the game for how we can estimate and look at different projects, and analyzing projects too. Like if I click on this run of pipe, right, I can utilize my existing surfaces again. So this button here, this assign rim elevations, right? And this is how we would basically enter in our data first, right? So we'd use the underground plan, right? We'd look at it. Okay, there's my rim minus the invert. What's the invert? 1097, right? Depending on whether it's coming in or out. But we're essentially just typing in rim minus invert, clicking from point to point. Now we can start to do some analyzation. I could see this run of pipe is actually running through this slope here. So let's turn it on. Let's reference just this selected pipe to our design surface. So that looks a little different, right? So before we may have been missing all that quantity, right? So I can see my average depth's 11. If I go to my detail tab here, I can see for this run of pipe, how much excavation I got, 334 yards. Well, maybe it makes sense at different times to put pipe in at different phases of the job, right? So again, selected pipe. Maybe I'd want to put that in against the stripped, right? Because we got a bunch of fill over it. So that probably makes more sense, right? Probably 100 and something less yards. So, just being able to go in and analyze the project, different runs of pipe. I could do all the pipe against, again, using the assigned rim elevations, right? Is pretty huge.